Hello, craft beer friends, and welcome to Season 11, Episode 17 of Tap to Craft Podcast. I am Denny Luce, coming to you from Boise, Idaho, and my partner in craft, the dog whisperer, and my favorite Florida man from Tampa, Florida, Mr. Kris McKenzie. Kris, how the heck are you doing tonight? And let us know what is in your glass.
Well, I'm trying to share. There it is. I'm trying to share our live stream. Now that I've
Oh,
done
okay.
that, life
Now
can
we can get started.
continue. Yeah, now we can continue. Doing great this evening, and in my glass, I'm well, not a glass, but in my hand, I'm drinking a Deschutes Black Butte Porter. I had to go
All
out
right.
and get some daily drinking beers, Denny, and
Mm-hmm.
it's tough when you go to the store anymore. Um, I the only place I really have to go is kind of like a Total Wine or an ABC, like a bigger kind of place. And their
Mm-hmm.
beer selection is shrinking every time I go in
Oh,
there.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
no.
and it used to be, three aisles of just beer, and then it's
Yeah.
two, and then it's one, and then the beer that's left in there is really just there was a Stone Enjoy by beer in there. I think it was Enjoy by 10/31/24. And I'm like, it's
Yeah,
even
that
right
should
on
be
it's
removed.
it's
Yeah,
on the
it's still,
name.
yeah.
Uh but instead of me bitching about the beer, I'm glad I get to drink this one. So,
Yeah, how's it
found
how's it how's it tasting? Good?
it's always good. The
Yeah.
Deschutes, the Black Butte Porter, always a nice roasty, easy drinking. I think it's what 5%, 5.5
Yeah. Yeah.
beer. So now that I'm stepping off my soapbox, tell me about you. What's in your hand? How's your day going? How you feeling?
I'm doing good. I'm doing much better than last episode. If you recall, I did come down with the Rona and it knocked me out for a couple weeks, no drinking. Hard to go. No, not too hard. I mean, I survived, but it was by the time I decided that I was done not drinking, it had been 2 weeks, and I said I
Right.
need a beer, and so I had a beer, and it was
You know
tasted
what?
really good.
A really wise man told me multiple times when I've been sick that
Hmm.
beer makes you feel better. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. That was
yeah, it
you.
does.
You said that to
Yeah,
me
it does
multiple
make you feel
times.
better. The problem is with COVID, it really does a number on me, and I just
Yeah,
want my body to be 100% like fighting it without worrying about my liver trying to fight off the alcohol I put in it. So that's the reason why. If it's like a back pain or muscle stuff, yeah, or I just have some pains,
yeah.
I'll drink beer all the time because it's a natural pain reliever and it actually helps. But with COVID, I just need my body to focus on fixing myself. But I am doing much better. I am drinking tonight. I'm drinking a beer from Israel. Yes, my buddy Alex didn't come to Boise, but he had someone else mule in some beers for
Nice.
me, and I've been enjoying those beers. And tonight we're drinking Blackjack Stout from the Beerbazaar. And I've had this beer before about, gosh, it must have been 7, 8 years ago, a long time ago. And I didn't rate it all that high, like 3.5. But I'll tell you what, I think they've improved upon this beer as
Very
I'm drinking
nice.
now. Look at nice and dark. And now I think I might give this a little bit higher rating because it's got a really nice tobacco, like a little bit of that dark roast, but it has a tobacco character. And
Hmm.
I find that in a dark beer like this, I really appreciate the tobacco molasses
Yeah,
type
yeah.
flavor in there. It really, stands out. And this beer, I think I remember, if I remember correctly, my last time I had it, I rated it kind of lower because it didn't have very much body to it. The body is improved on this; it's not as watery as the other one was. But we'll see how it goes at the end. By the time I finish this beer, see if I raise my rating and check it in a second time so I can give it a bump up in the ratings. But I am doing good for a Monday, and I'm ready to get this show going so that I can get Kris to bed because he's a trooper, likes to stay up late and chat with me. But before we get too far into the show, we
I'll
always
take
want to
it.
let anyone new listening to Tap the Craft podcast know what we're all about. We are an educational podcast focused around celebrating all things craft beer because we want to assist you, our listener, along in your craft beer journey and adventures. And you're listening to episode 277, recording on Monday. Oh, it's not February 17th, is it?
No, it's Monday,
It's
March
March 3rd.
3rd,
Yeah, I forgot to
2025.
change it. I forgot to change the date. It's March 3rd, 2025, and we
Yeah.
are live on Facebook. If you'd like to join us during our recording session sometime, you can do that on the Monday prior to release at 8:30 Eastern Time. And in this episode, we're going to talk about some 2025 craft beer trends. Now, I know it's already into March, so we're already 2 months fully completed, but we hadn't had a chance to talk about beer trends. And sometimes we
Yeah.
like to do that and see what some of the other people out there are thinking is going to happen this year in craft beer. I didn't write. At the end, we'll talk about some of our craft beer predictions. I didn't write them down. I have them kind of in my head, but we'll see what these people say and whether we agree with what they have to say or not, and we'll see how it works out this year. And then we'll have our own little, maybe trends we think we want to see happen or might happen that we don't want to see, but it's inevitable. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I have two
Okay.
specifically.
All right. Good. Good. I can't wait to hear them. And we're back now that I'm drinking again. We can do a Cigar City El Catador Club tasting segment. We'll tell you what beer that is when we get to that segment. But yeah, we're gonna enjoy I think our fifth bottle in the
Is it?
series. I think it is our fifth one. Yeah.
It's fourth or fifth?
Uh, yeah, and I've really been enjoying all the beers, and I think this one I think has the highest rating of the ones we've had. I think, maybe. Don't quote me on that, but we'll see. And you can always count on Kris and I having some great conversation as well. And we would like to thank all of our Patreon supporters because this episode is brought to you in part by our satisfied Patreon supporters like Mike Allen, Bill Schlemmer, Amanda and Kevin Argauer, Mike Blanchard, Tara Carlson, Jim Kutzel, and Alex Fuchs, and Eric Scotty Ward. These are all of our virtual producers. And Tom Byrne, Jeff Seiler, Johan Halberg, Chalon Massa, Mark Church, Eric Groundley, and Batman Dan, who want to buy us a virtual beer. If you enjoy the content we provide, we invite you to support the show by toasting your host or buying us a virtual beer or even becoming a virtual producer. You can explore the options on our support page by visiting patreon.com/tapthecraft. So Kris, guess what?
What?
We got some
You're
voicemails
right, we
from
did.
two different people. Um, we got it from Chad Lamassa and our good buddy Buck Buchanan of Core 4 Brewing out there in
Yeah.
Oklahoma City. So, Kris, you got those things rolled up and
Yeah, I
ready
do.
to
I just have
run?
to click on them. You want either one of them first or second? Let's go with
Let's
Bucks
go.
first.
Okay, let's go Buck first then. Let's
All
do it.
right.
You make the command decision.
Yeah. And Dan's on with us too. Dan hopped on and he said, "Nice shirt, Kris." This says my Crooked Crab Brewing Company
Crooked
shirt. That's
crab.
where him and his wife Jessie went when they went and visited back home in Maryland for around the Christmas time. Let's see what Buck has to
Nice.
say.
What's up, Tap the Craft? This is Buck, Oklahoma City, Core 4 Brewing, calling in to say hello. Hey,
Hello, Buck.
great episode with Tractor Brewing. I made a beercation out to Albuquerque a couple of years ago and had quite a few breweries out there, and they were all super fantastic. Tractor was one of the ones I hit, so I meant to sit down and put a list together and go over it and send it to you, but I just never have had a chance yet. So maybe I'll shoot that to you in an email. Anyway, I want to holler at you guys and let you know that Core 4 Brewing's 5-year anniversary is coming up on Saturday, March
Whoa.
8th. So anybody listening in the Oklahoma City area, let's have a get it. March 8th, Core 4 Brewing's 5-year anniversary. Live music all day, Irish dancing, Irish food, new beers. So anyways, appreciate what you guys do. Keep up the good work, and we'll talk soon. Thanks, guys.
Excellent. Thank you, Buck. And man, has it been 5 years already? That
That's
is
insane.
incredible. That is incredible. And good to hear that Buck has nothing but good things to say about the beer in Albuquerque, New Mexico area. It just makes me want to go down there even more, to go try their beer because I think it's a spot that might be underrated,
An up and coming kind of
up
place down in the
up and coming.
ABQ.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so now Chad has two. Why don't you just go ahead and play them back to back because the second one's just a really quick little one-line thing
Okay.
he says.
Hey guys, it's Chad. Just wanted to call in and give a little report back from my trip with Cindy to Pittsburgh over the weekend. We had such a great time. We managed to get to 4 breweries and also this incredible record store. So if any of you guys are around the Pittsburgh area and you're into music, go check out the it's called The Attic. Sorry, I'm drinking already.
Attaboy.
An old Maps by Bingo Beer. It's actually really good. Double dry hopped Pilsner. Anyway, back to the trip. We went to Dancing Gnome, Squatch, Local Remedy, and Inner Groove. They were all great. I was most excited about going to Dancing Gnome on the way out there, but it actually wound up being my least favorite. Not because of the beers, but the atmosphere. It was a nice place, but too big and too busy. The other 3 were smaller, and we got to interact with the staff more than other other customers. So I guess that's about it. Just a bunch of great beers and record shopping, and so it was definitely a fun trip. And I guess I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Sounds like a heck of a way to spend a birthday.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the other one.
Sorry, it's Chad again. I just wanted to say that I posted some pictures from my trip on the vast wasteland that is the Tap the Craft Discord server. So if you want to go check some stuff out, you can do that there. All right, take care. Bye.
That was probably the most passive aggressive shot that I've ever gotten. That I've gotten in a long time.
Hey, we tried. I tried. I tried. I built it, and some people came.
You build it, and they will
I'm
come.
Sorry. But let's get back to his Pittsburgh visit. So, all 4 of those breweries that he visited, I hadn't visited when I was there. So those were all ones I wanted to go to Dancing Gnome. We just didn't make it, but Dancing Gnome is known for their really good IPAs, and that's the reason why I wanted to go back when we visited Pittsburgh, was just to try the beer. But to hear that the location is just not that, it's just so big and vast, and you feel like you're just lost in an ocean of other people in this big place. Yeah, the experience can take away from it. And I did see that the one spot that he did go to that I thought was pretty cool was that Inner Groove. I love that they had their taster tray was like a record. It was shaped like a record and had grooves in there and everything, and had their the beers. I thought it was really cool, and so yeah, I thought that was cool. But it's good to hear that you did have some good experiences at some of those smaller venues, and you got to interact with the staff and other patrons that were visiting the place, which is always the fun part.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad you had a good time. And that just means you have room for another trip because, I asked Chad if he made it to the Brew Gentleman, which is one of the places I really liked when we went there, and he didn't make it up that way this trip. But I don't know. I'm hoping they're still open. They were, when we were there, they let us in on some news that hadn't been released yet, that they were planning on opening, expanding their location and make it bigger, and opening a big event hall area that was right behind the current smaller brew pub. But man, their beers were so good, and I liked that little place they had, and I really enjoyed it. It's in Braddock, Pennsylvania, which is just, I think it's a little bit, I lose track of which direction. I think it was east.
I mean, that just tells you that
Northeast.
you have to go back now. I don't even know where it is.
But I also enjoyed visiting Southern Tier because they have a brew pub down there. Man, the beers were so good at Southern Tier as well. And where else did we visit? I can't remember. Yeah, yeah, I got a bad memory, but yeah. So go back again, Chad. Pittsburgh's a great town. I think I mentioned it at the time. I'll mention it again. I visited Pittsburgh back in the '80s, and it was a dump.
Yeah,
I I said I'm never coming back here. But then when we found out that Kevin and Amanda were living in Pittsburgh, and when I went out to visit Trek, I said, you know what, we're going to fly into Pittsburgh, stay and visit with Kevin and Amanda for a couple of days, and then we'll drive out to Ohio because it's only a couple 2.5
it's about
hour
two
drive or
hour,
so.
two and
Yeah,
a half
two
hours
two
out
and a
to
half hour drive.
Columbus.
Yeah. And so we'll drive out, and then we will spend time at Trek and do our Tacticraft get together, and then we drove back to Pittsburgh and flew out from Pittsburgh after another night there. I'll tell you what, I fell in love with that town. They really have done a great job at renovating and just making it so friendly place to be and cleaned up and revitalized that whole downtown area. Just a beautiful, beautiful town. So that's just my little thing. If you guys have a chance to go to Pittsburgh for a weekend to go brew crawling, don't pass up. It's a really great
Plenty
experience.
of good spots. Plenty of good
Yeah.
spots.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Okay. That's our voicemail. We want to thank both Chad and Buck. And if you want to be like these two great guys and leave us a voicemail, you can do that at 208-536-3359. A lot of numbers. And like if you're like Chad and been drinking already, you might not remember all those. How about 208-53-ODDLY? That's a lot easier. Punch that into your phone, speed dial, and whenever you're thinking about us or want to just say something, just speed dial, leave us a message. We'd love to hear from you.
again, drunk dials are always accepted too.
Love our drunk dials.
Just remember,
Love.
they will be played, and we will laugh. We'll laugh with you when you hear
We'll
it.
laugh and have a good time.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you are too shy, you can always leave us an email at taptocraft@gmail.com or leave us something on Facebook at facebook.com/taptocraft. As Chad mentioned, I haven't been really promoting it because it is kind of a wasteland due to me not being there, I guess. We do have a Discord server if you want to help build that up with Chad and go and share all this stuff just in our own private Tap to Craft community where no one else is going to bug you, just people that listen to the show. You can go to taptocraft.com/Discord, join our server, interact with our other listeners there. Okay, Kris, let's continue the conversation because now it is time to untap the craft and see what our listeners are drinking according to Untapped.
Well, I'm going to get some pre-check-ins here. Batman Dan and his wife Jessie are drinking a couple beers too. Dan said that he needs to be drinking high-quality H2O, preferably. and Dan, maybe you should get something that was blessed by an Eskimo medicine man. But he said he's really drinking Pernicious by Wicked Weed, and then Jessie is drinking Sweetwater Tropical Hazy. She said she loves a good hazy, so it's an IPA kind of day at their house this evening.
Nice.
So
they get Wicked. So I need to go to Alabama. They get Wicked Weed in Alabama too.
I mean, I feel like Wicked Weed is in a lot of places. I'd be curious to see how far out they distribute.
Okay.
I mean, we get Wicked Weed here.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well,
I believe,
don't get it here.
Well, you live on the not cool side of the country. I don't know.
I guess so. Yeah, I live too far away.
Yeah, as
in
I
a
say
whole
that
nother
as
world.
I'm drinking my West Coast beer this evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, guys, if you want us to read your check-ins, make sure you follow me on Untapped at K9 Hops. That's the letter K, the number 9, HOPS. And we'll read your check-ins approximately 24 hours prior to our show recording. And, when I pulled this up, it said 23 hours ago, and now it says a day ago.
Wow.
So I guess I'll just go ahead and read Eric Gromley's because.
Of course. Yeah,
but
do it.
definitely. And it's only because, Eric, you wrote notes, and it's
That's
a 4.5 cap beer. So Eric Gromley is drinking a barrel-aged Gales of November by Luce Line Brewing Company. Yeah, spelled like your last
Been
name
there.
too.
I've
Yeah,
been there.
he said great beer, almost a blend of an imperial stout and barley wine, darker roast, chocolate, fig, raisin. Bourbon adds a lot of depth. Great evening for a winter bonfire.
Ooh.
4.5 caps on that check-in from Eric Gronley. Scrolling on up the list, there are a lot of check-ins here today, guys, so we're not going to be able to get to, excuse me, all of them. Let's see. Anyone specifically stand out? Kevin Page is drinking a beer from where, Denny?
Burial or
Very good.
Okay.
Burial or
the other
Arcane?
one. Arcane works.
Yeah, Kevin is checking into, I love their beer names. Those Too Afraid to Never Be Remarkable by Burial Beer Company.
Okay.
He said, had to delay drinking as ran to Publix for Parmesan. Didn't disappoint. Humdinger. Rare triple that drinks like a juicy double. Find that juicy double. Kevin's in trouble. All right. But 5 cap rating for that beer from Burial Beer Company. I can't take credit for the rhyme, Denny. Sir Mix-a-Lot made the rhyme. So, but 5 cap rating for the Burial Beer. Those Too Afraid to Never Become Remarkable. He also checked into A Mystical Guide for the Critical Moment by Burial Beer Company. Had a lot to live up to after that 5 cap triple and held its own. 4.4. 4.5 caps is what it's showing here on our side.
You know what? That 5 cap rating from Kevin Page might be the first one I've seen from him.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if I remember him having 5 cap ratings before.
I mean, maybe
it must have really messed him up, and he just went with.
Well, he went to the grocery store.
Yeah.
I think 4 hours ago, so that was right around rush hour time. And if it's anything like going to our grocery store on a Monday at about 5 p.m., you need that beer when you get home.
Yeah, that's true.
So it just tasted that much sweeter. Eric Scotty Ward checking into a Black Marble by Sullivan's Brewing Company. He picked this one up at Total Wine and More. And he said, a malty, creamy, smooth stout. But wait, on nitro too. Yes, sir. Right out of the can. Makes up for the trip to Ireland I'll never make.
Oh, come on. Don't never say never, man.
You can make it. Just
listen to my show where I talk about my Ireland trip, and you will want to go. It's worth it.
4 cap rating on that one. Got to continue the check-in streak with Chad Lamassa. He's drinking a Gods and Bees by one of his favorite breweries, Pipe the Side Brewing Company. Another Beer Friends Night pickup. I like this more than the original batch last September. I think the cedar really cuts through the Saison flavors. The honey is my favorite part. Get a little bit of pepper in the finish. And he gave it a 4.25 cap rating.
Nice. Good Saison. So, wait a minute. And that was a Saison, right? He doesn't like Saisons. He found one he likes. That's right?
So, if you look it up, it's categorized as a braggot.
Oh, it's not even a beer.
So it's kind of mead. Yeah, so it's on the picture.
Well, it's not let's see, braggots are the ones that aren't hopped with
no hops, I believe.
It's using other things to get the bitterness in there.
Yes.
Which is weird if it has honey in there as well. Or wait, or is honey mead? Yeah,
so a braggot is a
right?
mead. Yeah.
Is a mead. So but they can come across like Saisons as well. The braggots I've had have come across really earthy and a little bit spicy.
Or is braggot? No, I was gonna say, is braggot the ones that are flavored with like vegetables and stuff? I don't know. We're gonna have to do. Hey, there's a good show topic.
Yeah, I might need to revisit the braggot. We talked about it before, but you know what? I have a horrible memory with.
Well, it's a good thing you write all this stuff down in our spreadsheet of show topics. But yeah, 4.25 caps from Chad in that braggot. And scrolling on up the list here, I gotta click toast on that one. There we go. Scrolling on up the list, we've got Florida Steve. Dude, where have you been?
Yeah, Florida Steve.
He's checking into a Cat's Meow by Craft House Brewery. And he said, pretty good lager. Nice bready character. Hit the spot after a long Monday. And 3.25 caps for that check-in, but the can art, really cool.
Hmm.
You're just gonna have to go make sure you follow Florida Steve and see his can art, because that's a really cool can for a Helles lager.
Nice.
I like it. Let's see. Chad Lamassa again drinking a Blockchain by Spyglass Brewing Company. 4.25 caps, and said simply, very nice. Juice bomb. And let's see. Bill Schlemmer drinking
Bill.
a Last Gasp by Pompano Beach Brewing Company. And he said, red wine barrel-aged stout blended with a bourbon barrel-aged stout. Good, but I expected better. Chocolate notes are most prominent, with more nuanced red wine notes and subtle wood notes. Not much complexity, but still good. Good enough for a 4-cap rating. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a good rating.
It's a hell of a description too, Bill. Go ahead and get that one in the next updated Beer and Wine Enthusiast magazine.
Was it AI written?
No. I would definitely give Bill credit, because the boy can put some words together. So, but Denny, that's what everybody's drinking.
Oh, wow. Good job. Way to go, everyone. There's a variety. We had a braggot in there. We had some barrel-aged stuff. We had some Helles. We had a triple IPA that drank like a double.
That also needed a 5-cap rating to go along with it.
That got a 5-cap rating from someone I don't ever believe gave a 5-cap rating before. It was shocking. Shocking. Good job, everyone. Good job. I've also been drinking heavily, so you'll see my new and noteworthy. I didn't have any 5-cap ratings, but I do have like 5 or 6 beers that I want to talk about, because once I was able to drink, I started pounding the beers.
Yeah, you were catching up.
Okay, well, guess what time it is, Chris? It's
time to open another beer.
To open another beer. It's our beer tasting with Cigar City El Catador Club. Special bottles here. This episode, we're doing the Strange Case. Look at that nice purple. Nice purple.
Come on, let's focus. There we go.
So what is that? What are those purple things? Are they ballet shoes or something?
Test tubes?
Test tubes?
I'm going with test tubes.
Test tubes. They're test tubes.
They're either test tubes, Denny, or they're just rolled out condoms. I can't tell.
If we know what movie this is from, it might help, but I have no idea. But this is this beer is featuring Applejack Brandy Barrel Aged Imperial Stout with caramel flavor. Sounds a bit sweet.
It does.
What do you think?
It does.
We'll see how this one does. This might not be a 5-cap rating for us if it comes across too sweet, but it is 13.3% ABV. This one actually says it on the bottle.
Does it?
13.3.
It does.
Right, yeah, first one.
What bottle number do you have?
My bottle number is 022 or 0244.
Oh, I got 0234.
Ooh, 10 off.
Okay, so which bottle opener should I use?
I'm going to use the only one I have in front of me. The one I got from tintackers.com.
Okay. So if you're going to use your Tin Tackers bottle opener, that orange one is magneted to my beer fridge. But I'm going to use my Gnarly Barley Skateboard.
Oh, that one I almost broke.
Well, that's I'm curious because
how strong it is.
I guess we'll see. Ow.
All right, I got my stout. Oh man, this one doesn't look so clean. I might need to clean this a little better. It looks a little dirty. Pour this beer into my stout B cup. Oh, there's a little bit of it's got a little bit of foam on there, a little bit of head bubble action. I'm not going to fill it all. I'm going to save a little bit. I want to get a little head. Oh, look. A little bit of head in there.
There's some bubbles. I got some bubbles in there.
That is impressive because a lot of times these barrel-aged beers, they lose that foam. Wow, this has got some aroma.
You guys ever smelled smelling salts?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That might just it's a wake-up call right there.
Yeah. As I'm looking at this and I'm swirling at my glass, like there's even some legs on this too.
Woo. It's
Coming in
affecting
hot.
my throat already. Yeah. All right. So, tell me you're smelling a bunch of caramel in there.
Oh yeah, smelling a bunch of caramel, smelling a
Yeah.
bunch of. I'm smelling bourbon,
I'm
or I'm sorry,
smelling
apple
it's
brandy.
apple brandy. It definitely it definitely has that
That
brandy,
that hot boozy
that
smell.
hot boozy brandy smell. It definitely has that.
Yeah, it smells really good.
And then it's got a big caramel, uh, buttery
Yeah,
caramel
sweetness smell
sweetness
to it.
to it as well. It smells good, but I'll tell you what, that first whiff, whoo, I thought I was gonna start crying.
Yeah,
It hit
yeah.
me for a minute. It hit me for a minute. Okay, so here's what it says on the side of the bottle. I wrote it down here. Quote, good and evil are so close as to be chained together in the soul. Unquote. Wow. For this scene, we chain together luscious caramel with stewed apple from Applejack brandy barrels, providing both a complex and familiar concoction. Okay.
Ah, that quote is from Robert Louis Stevenson's book Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Oh, strange case. So they are test tubes, then you think, right?
Yeah,
Actually, you're right. Yeah, now that you see, yeah, because it's like the little whiffs or things coming out of the test tubes, maybe like smoke or something.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Jessie said that she now knows where her husband Dan got the glasses from, the B cups. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, Jesse. Those they used to be one of our sponsors. The guy that created those is right here in Tampa.
yeah.
We talk
Joel
about we
Big
talk
Ham.
about we talk about Mr. Big Ham a lot. I haven't talked to him in a while, actually.
Uh, okay, one more thing about I'm getting something out as my nose is adapting to the shock. Now I can smell a little woody character in there too in the back end of that
Mm-hmm.
nose. So the caramels calm down, and some of the alcohol booziness has calmed down, or my nose is just numb to it, and now you can smell some wood barrel character in there.
I'm kind of, I don't want to say concerned. I'm almost curious to take this first sip because as I'm smelling it, like it's giving me that almost that menthol characteristic where if you like have a
Mm-hmm.
Hall's lozenge in your mouth
Mm-hmm.
where it kind of
Yeah.
cools the back of your throat.
Yeah.
I'm getting that when I'm taking smells of it.
It it does tend to light up my nostrils a bit. Um, okay, well let's do it, Kris. We can't put this off. Let's take a sip. Mm.
Ooh.
Woo! Woo-hoo! Wow, that first sip is a doozy.
It's like stepping
Uh,
outside on a 20-degree day.
wow, this will heat you up a bit. Very thick. Okay, let's talk
Mm-hmm.
about a mouthfeel. Super thick, mouth coating, uh, syrupy. I mean,
Yeah.
super thick. Um, one thing that surprised me, which I didn't get out of the nose, but I get that what do they call it? The unami or
Umami.
umami character of like soy
Yeah.
saucy,
Mushroomy, earthy. Yeah.
mushroomy. I get that flavor in here. I don't know why. Maybe it's coming from the barrel. I don't know, or maybe, or actually maybe it's coming from the malts. I don't know.
You'd probably get it from the oak
Maybe
in
from
the
the oak.
barrel. Yeah.
But and then also it's a bit strong that first sip. I'm hoping the next few sips will be a little bit lighter on the punch to my face, to my
Yeah.
taste buds.
I'm still working through that caramel flavor too.
Yeah, caramel, big caramel, uh, almost like eating a caramel apple.
Yeah. It's kind of like I just got a Werther's original in my glass.
Exactly. And it's lasting, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
coating your mouth, and it feels like you just ate a Werther's with some caramel or butterscotchy um, residuals in there. Okay, I'm taking another sip to see if, because normally the first sip will knock you knock you for a loop, and then your taste buds get used to it, and then it calms down, and you can enjoy
Okay. Well, while you
more.
take that second one, I'll give you kind of an insight to what I had on my second sip too.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll get into my third and fourth and fifth sip. um, so I'm with you. It did kind of calm down. I feel like my palate got a little used to it,
Yeah.
and I got more of the oaky barrel flavor in that second sip, and I don't have that just consistently coated flavor of just caramel everywhere. I still have it, but
it's not as strong because we got used to it, but it's still, I think the dominant flavor is definitely the caramel. But you're right, you can get hints of that barrel, almost a little tanniny character in there, not too strong where you're like, tanging your cheeks are poking in, but you do get some of that tannin character. The booziness is way down on the second one, so it didn't hit me as hard.
Yeah.
And it's not burning going down, so that's good. But it's still very, very thick. Almost like drinking a 16-ounce bottle of this is going to be way too
It
much.
might be a tough one. This one might be a tough one.
I'm going to tell you, most likely I will not give this a 5 cap rating. Just because it's not as, for me, this one's not as good as the other ones that we had at the 5 cap.
I think this is a stout that I would have, let's say, 6-7 years ago, I would have been all about.
Yeah.
And I would have absolutely had it in a 24-ounce bomber and forced it down because I'm a badass.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say that here in 2025, this 16-ounce bottle, I do not know if I'm gonna be able to finish it.
I think I'm going to be able to finish it as we go through the show. We still have probably, an hour or so left. I think I'll finish it by the end.
It's a sipper.
But it's a sipper.
Definitely a sipper.
The good news is the 13.3%, after my, second and third sip, I don't feel any heat. There's no heat like burn or anything. So that's really important. I think what's going to hurt me as I keep drinking it, especially as it warms up, it's really that thickness.
Yeah.
It is way thick, and I think the syrupy character, especially as it warms up to more like room temperature, is just going to be enhanced with overly rich character that will be hard for me to get down. But maybe it'll be fine. Maybe I'm totally off base, and by the time it warms up, it'll be like super easy drinking and
I don't know.
Some of that thickness. I don't know.
Maybe they put some Wamble's voodoo in it.
Some Wamble's voodoo. But well-made beer. But like you said, Kris, maybe at another time I would have just ate it up and said this is the best ever. At this time when we've experienced, especially with this series, similar things that were just I felt were a little bit better. I'm probably gonna. I'm still gonna give this like a 4 cap rating. I think I'm gonna. If it sticks through and nothing changes and it goes for, I think it's a 4 cap rating beer. There's nothing wrong with it as far as off flavors.
Nope.
It's not too boozy, so that's a positive. It's made. If anything, right now is that I feel like I'm not feeling the Applejack brandy in there, which is okay, but maybe that as it warms up, that will come out a little bit more. But the barrel itself, we are tasting.
How long ago did yours come out of the refrigerator?
It came out at an hour ago.
Okay.
And then I put it in my ice chest open, just sitting open there, and so it's not that cold.
Okay.
There's no chill frost on there.
I pulled mine out about an hour ago too.
Yeah, and then I pulled it out of the ice cooler that was open anyway, and I set it on the desk when you started to Untapped Craft. So it's been
Okay.
sitting out, and it's not too cold. It's definitely at the proper drinking temperature right now. Um, but yeah. Okay, I'll take one more sip, and then we can move on.
I'm definitely getting more of those tannins as I'm drinking it.
Yeah,
And I
I
don't
agree.
hate that because it's kind of cutting through the sweetness a little.
Yeah, I think that the tannins definitely come out as it warms up, as we drink it more of it. And believe it or not, the caramel is still big, but it's not as sickening as it was
Yeah.
earlier.
Yeah. That first sip was like, oh man, if this is like this the whole way
I,
through, it's
I,
going to
w-
be an issue.
I was afraid. I'll tell you what. If anyone saw my face, that is exactly what I felt when I first took that first sip. It was
Whoa.
a shock to my system, but now it's gotten used to it, and it's not bad. It's good. It's going down. Um,
Like prom night. It really is.
oh wow! I thought I was pretty much done with this, but I just finished poured in the rest of
Yeah.
my bottle, and now I've got this much left.
Right there with you, buddy. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers, my friend. Cheers. Yes, we will enjoy this sipping through the rest of the episode.
Well, Dan, you're not going to like this one then. He said he hates caramel.
Mm.
This is not your beer
Stay
then,
away
my
from
friend.
this. This is big time caramel. Big time. All right. Well, that was our beer tasting of Cigar City's El Catador Club Strange Case featuring Applejack Brandy Barrel Aged Imperial Stout with caramel flavor. Now, we are going to jump into the Brew Buzz, and the Brew Buzz is devoted to discussing various related topics. And this week, we're going to learn about some of the 2025 craft beer trends that have been reported by a couple of news outlets. I took these from two different online sources. One is the 11 craft beer trends to watch in 2025, found on the Hop Culture website. And then the other one was 7 beer trends to follow in 2025, written by Rachel Arthur and found on the Beverage Daily website. And I will say that I'll say that there were no direct overlaps in their trend predictions, but there were some that kind of like adjacent to it. They
trend adjacent.
Trend adjacent, like NA or non-alcoholic or low alcoholic stuff is going to be big. They both kind of hit on that, but in different aspects. But I just kind of took a few from each and put them together. So Kris, I'll start off with this first section, and you can start off with the first beer trend.
I'm curious to know what AI has to say about craft beer trends too. So we'll that's ChatGPT is running right now.
Okay. All right. We'll see what they have to say and see if we can, how we line up here. So for the first time since the turn of the century, we finally saw more breweries close than open. 399 versus 335, according to the Brewers Association. The Brewers Association also reported that the craft beer volumes declined for a second straight year. I believe the decline was 3.5%. Which newly appointed BA president and CEO Bart Watson expects to continue in the low single digits in 2025. Brewers face increased cost, inflation, supply chain challenges, and competition from other beverage categories, both within alcohol and from non-alcoholic categories, with some consumers simply choosing to drink less altogether. Now, just on that little thing, I mean, I think you've heard me kind of talk about some of this in my own experience. Now keep in mind, the last 2 weeks or last week especially, I've been drinking heavily because I went without and I wanted to get my.
You got to catch up.
I got to catch up. I don't want to let my alcohol ability to drink go down too far. But
your tolerance,
overall, my tolerance, I want my tolerance to lag. I got to be able to keep that high tolerance. But honestly, in the last year or two, I have cut back on my drinking. I am drinking more non-alcoholic beverages. I choose to, the days that I work out, which is every other day, I don't drink on those days. And instead, I choose to drink non-alcoholic beverages. And I've really come to appreciate what some of the new non-alcoholic beverages are providing. They've come a long way and actually are giving you some pretty good beers that taste like the beers they're supposed to taste like. So I appreciate that. And it gives my liver a little break, and it's good. So I'm one of those ones they're talking about that I've chosen to, so supplement my normal drinking with non-alcoholic or abstaining altogether, both because of health reasons and because of the costs involved. I've also told everyone that I'm not visiting as many breweries and pubs as I was before because it's getting expensive.
Yeah.
Now here in Boise, it's $7 to $7.50 and higher for a beer out in a bar that I can go get a 6-pack for $10. I save those times for when I'm out socializing with friends, and I'm not doing it 3 times a week like I may have been doing before. I'm doing it once every 2 weeks or a month, if maybe even. It might go longer depending on what's going on. So, I fit right into that category. All right. Even with a fair amount of headwinds on the horizon, Watson has cause for hope. He quotes, "If I described what is going on in beverage alcohol, I'd say we're in an era of flavor, of tremendous variety of products and innovation. There is a reason for optimism because when people pick craft and craft brewers succeed, it's exactly in those areas, exactly where craft brewers are built to play because craft brewers have the tools and the know-how to be competitive in this era." And those are quotes from Watson, the president of the Brewers Association. Watson called brewers nimble and adaptable entrepreneurs who have proven capable of weathering countless storms while keeping their unique brand voice, trying out new models and products, and continuing to innovate, which is exactly what folks will need to do to thrive in 2025. Accordingly, most of our craft beer trends follow that advice. And here are some trends. So, Kris, why don't you go ahead and talk about the first trend that is out there?
Yeah, so I'm right there with you too. Is that it's I'm going out less. We're abstaining from just, it's like, it used to be, I'll go grab a beer with whoever, or let's just go out and grab dinner and have a couple beers. And no, it's just gotten more expensive. And or there's just some days that I come home and I just go, I don't feel like having a beer right now.
Yeah.
I just want to,
I want to have that bourbon instead.
Well, I don't even want to do that. It's just come home, eat dinner, and just it's been a hell of a day.
Yeah.
All right. So here's some of the trends. The first one, high on the 5th category. That's a hell of a title start. Now I want to know what it means. Without a doubt, this is the category we expect to see the highest, pardon the pun, growth in 2025. According to Nielsen IQ Associate Director of Beverage Alcohol Thought Leadership, Kaylee Thoreau, in a presentation at Brewbound Live, 78 million Americans reported consuming cannabis, and 30% of the U.S. adult population self-identifies as a cannabis consumer. This number has doubled in the last few years. 88% view cannabis as a healthy choice, presented Thoreau, and 74% say they've cut back on alcohol.
Wow.
Denny, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What do you think is the healthier choice?
The healthier choice is for us to do neither.
Okay.
It's so... This is not an easy answer.
No, it's
because there's positives and negatives on both ends. For one thing, if I want to give somebody either a few puffs of a joint or a shot of alcohol and then get on the road and drive, which would I feel more comfortable? Of course, it'd be the weed, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's not going to impair if anything, they'll be more cautious and more, slow.
They'd be too
They might be
paranoid to get in the car
too
anyway.
paranoid, or they
Like,
might be a little slow to respond. But that
Yeah.
means they're probably not going to be driving fast.
Yeah.
Um, but I also, my personal, I've mentioned before on the show, I've never done any drugs, marijuana or anything.
Yeah.
I'm not against marijuana, and I personally think that I would rather have people smoking weed than doing other drugs
Sure.
and drinking and over drinking and getting impaired and doing something that is going to kill someone else. Can it happen? Do I want somebody who's doing weed to be working next to me, doing something highly that needs to be aware and be able to react quickly and that might save, if they do something wrong might kill me? No, I don't want that. So
No.
there's pros and cons to both. As far as healthier choice, honestly, like I said, I think sustaining from both is a healthier choice. If you say healthy.
Abstaining from both.
Abstaining, yeah.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Abstaining, yeah.
Yeah.
Abstaining.
And I see, I have a completely different take on it because me personally, if I have a couple of beers and I get a little buzz, okay, cool. No big deal. If I eat, I'm not a big fan of smoking anything, but I will have an edible every once in a while.
Oh,
but
okay.
It's weird, and I've even told you this before, whether it comes down to beer or an edible or things like that. For those of you that have never seen me in person, I'm about 6'5". I weigh about 235 pounds. I'm a large person.
He's a
And
big boy.
it takes about one and a half drinks to get a nice buzz on for me. I don't know why, but man, it's just the way my body metabolizes things. I'm a cheap date.
Yeah.
When it comes down to edibles, I can eat a 10 milligram edible and be just high for 6 to 8 hours. It's kind of nice. Cheap date, right?
Cheap date, yeah.
Downside to it is, guys, I get the munchies real bad.
So that 235 becomes 250 pretty quick.
Yeah, real fast. And, I love when I can have those days where I just go, you know what? I don't have anything to do tomorrow. I'll go eat Tina has her medical card. She uses it for anxiety and things like that. But like, she'll buy chocolates, and she buys me a bag, and it takes me 8-10 months to go through a bag of 10 pieces, right? Like, I don't do it very often. But man, when there's those days when I'm like, I don't have anything to do, it's supposed to rain and be gross tomorrow, let's just hang out at home. I'll eat one and just giggle until I cry.
And I can appreciate the people that want to come home after a hard day. They're not going to do anything else but just chill out and pop something and just mellow out. Hey, I don't have a problem with that. In fact, to be honest with you, I don't choose to do it, and I don't. And even if it became legal in Idaho, I still wouldn't do it.
Right.
I just have no choice. I have no desire to do it. I'm one of the strange ones in the state that say, hey, legalize it, right? I'd rather have it legal and then possibly bring in money to the state to use for other things in schools or whatever, than to have them go across every single border around us and buy it from everywhere around us, because we're the only state that doesn't have any kind of medical or recreational thing. And I'm not sure Idaho will ever have it, but hey, I'm okay with legalizing it. My only concern is I don't want someone working next to me that in a situation that I need to have them aware and be able to react quickly,
fully
not
functioning,
be able to do that because they're on.
No, and I completely agree with you, right? We don't need our coworkers being inhibited and less, slow on the draw, so to speak. So, so some of the top reasons for choosing cannabis included to relax and avoid a hangover. I'll give it that. There's no side effects after you do marijuana? When I used to
negative.
When I used to make my own, I was buying it from my old neighbor, so it was not I didn't know how much THC was in it. If it wasn't the same strain, like I was making my own, and man, there were some times where it was like I was just wrecked for the whole day and then wanted to just take a nap the second day, or it would just be like, have a buzz for an hour and then move on with the day.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't normally have a hangover as far as like,
Okay.
drinking a 13% beer. If I was to, split a couple of these with some friends, I might
Yeah,
have
you'll be feeling it.
some digestive discomfort after a while,
Yeah.
or or a headache or dehydration, or
Yeah.
all kinds of different things. So,
Okay.
so they said, Thoreau said that we know cannabis is on the rise in the United States. They mentioned they are currently tracking over $70 million in sales in this, what they call the fifth category,
Mm.
which includes drinks with cannabis, THC, hemp, Delta 8, or Delta 9. For example, Lyft, a hemp infused beverage, or Cycling
Cycling
Frog,
frog.
which offers everything from Delta 9 THC seltzers to 50 milligram THC and 50 milligram CBD lemonades. If you guys
Th-
can keep
Those
all
seem
the,
high. Is that a lot?
I think that's a lot, because I personally, if I'm eating an edible, it's a 10 milligram
Yeah.
edible, and that's enough to just, like I said,
Yeah.
knock me on my ass. But
Okay.
there are plenty of people who, Tina's one of them. Okay. Now, me, 6'5", 240, Tina is 4'10", and she can eat two of those edibles and just
And
not
like
even feel
nothing's.
it.
Yeah.
But just like you were making the joke earlier, like, hey, you got to keep your tolerance up.
Tolerance. Yeah.
She takes, she take, she imbibes
Mm.
daily.
Okay.
And so for me, it's once
Yeah.
a month, maybe.
Yeah.
Her, it's
Yeah.
every day. So
Yeah.
50 milligram, seltzer, I could only imagine. I'd lose my retirement fund at the food truck. Like, I'd be ruined. Over the summer, Minnesota instituted a new law that allows tap rooms to serve THC infused drinks, playing a huge role in bridging that gap between the craft beer and cannabis industries.
Yeah. That
Ooh.
scares me. It scares
Uh,
me because how do I know? I mean, unless I hope they're being really upfront and identifying which beverages are
oh,
infused
they'd have
because
to.
yeah, because I don't want to grab something that sounds like dank whatever and not know it has it
Right.
in there and then I'll be suddenly be affected. But I'd be curious to see what Eric Gronley has to say about this new Minnesota law. Is this something that is becoming a big thing in Minnesota now that a lot of his breweries he visits are now offering these things, or is it just a small, you know, few around the area that are doing it? Has he tried them, and what does he think? So Eric, let us know what you think. Leave us a voicemail 208-53 oddly.
Yep. Or 208-536-3359.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, well, I mean, like, if you look at the Sweetwater Tropical Hazy that Jesse said
mm-hmm.
she was drinking, I feel like half the beers that I've had from Sweetwater in the past couple of years, if you crack open one of those cans or get
It
a
smells
Sweetwater beer
like
on draft, it
yeah,
smells like you're opening a bag of weed.
yes, it's super dank. Yeah, it's got
It
that
really
really
is.
that yeah.
Um, but for those of you that don't know, marijuana and hops are in the same family. So,
Yeah.
um, and then you want this one, or you want me to get this one
I'll
next
do
one?
this one. We can
Okay,
do the next. We'll just go back and forth here. So
got it.
cocktails. How about cocktails in the tap room? Those who spend their money at tap rooms no longer want just beer. They don't just want new releases. They want an experience. This year, tap rooms need to refocus on their offerings once again, expanding beyond beer to cocktails. West 6 Brewing Director of Retail Operations Jesse Brasher shared, people want options, and tap rooms seek to continue to be everybody's welcome gathering spot. They'll they'll not only add more offerings but also put more effort into making those options better and not afterthoughts beyond the scope of core competency. He predicts cocktails to be an area of focus, specifically those with wilder infusions and eye-catching garnishes, i.e., Instagrammable moments.
Hmm.
Yeah, for all these young folks,
Oh,
I
you
guess.
whippersnappers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whippersnappers, these kids. There will also be a reaction to those, with some folks favoring light touch presentation and showcasing unique spirits and simpler builds that let the core ingredients shine. He also specifically pointed to highballs as a new consumer and taproom favorite. Think 7 and 7, Scotch and soda, gin and tonic, Tom Collins, rum and coke, he wrote. Delicious to drink, easy on the wallet, cost effective, simple to make, and fun to riff on. What's
More
not
bang
to
for
love?
your buck, personally.
Yeah. We may even see an influx of non-alcoholic spirits. Bottom line, for a couple years, we've known the tap rooms can no longer just serve beer. We predict cocktails will be a must-add to brewery tap lists in 2025. Now, when I'm thinking now that I just read this out loud, that he's talking about real cocktails. Now, it's hard, it's impossible for breweries, a lot of breweries in a lot of areas, to get both a liquor license and a beer license. And why would they want to pay for that when they're a brewery?
Well,
My thought when I first read this was what similar to what other breweries in Idaho are doing. For example, Payette. They have started brewing their seltzer line, right? Seltzers that are just like grain alcohol through brewing practices,
right.
and then adding flavors that mimic
Oh,
the cocktail. So
that's
they have a
pretty smart.
Moscow Mule, they have the gin, they have that stuff because they have the alcohol, and then they just add flavors that mimics that thing. So that's what I thought when I first read this, and that's what I am thinking they're saying because you know I just don't see breweries in California where it's difficult to get any kind of liquor license, beer or whatever, being able to like go and get one of the very rare licenses that costs $1 million to have to serve real cocktails, right? It doesn't make any sense. That's the lamest thing I ever said. But if breweries are already producing cider like or seltzer base,
Hmm.
non-flavored, just alcohol, then I can see them maybe trying to throw in some of these gimmicky cocktail things. But for me, I haven't drank one of them. I don't care to drink one of them. When I go to a brewery, I want to drink beer. If I want to go somewhere else,
Yeah.
I'll go to a cocktail bar and drink a cocktail.
Well, so, but it's funny because you had like California is a horrid example to use because I mean, liquor license, beer license, driver's license, they're all hard to get in California. But like our friends here at Marker 48, they opened up Spring Water Spirits and they've been making their own sorry, Tina and Mo for just calling it, but they're making their own booze
Okay,
and
so
serving mixed drinks, and it's in the same room. Like it's not like when you first walk into their building, the all the beers and taps are off on the right side, and if you go to the left, there is their bar with all of their spirits, and I believe they sell the bottles too. Um, but I'm I'm seeing that happen a lot more where you I feel like a couple of years ago we were talking more about like beer cocktails where
hmm
people were using
yeah,
beer to make like a mixed drink.
yeah, yeah,
And now we're just like, screw the beer. Let's make some vodka or some rum or something to make a mixed drink.
yeah. I mean, maybe if that's what they want to do to, yeah, keep their, I don't know. To me, it seems like people go to a brewery to drink beer,
That's
and then
that's
and
why
then
I
they're
go.
yeah, and then they're offering other things for people that don't drink beer, like hard seltzers, wine that they bring in, NA beers. Now most of the breweries have some kind of, canned NA beer that they can have.
Yeah.
We went out Friday night, which I'll talk about a little later, and she was able to drink some NA beers while I was drinking regular beers, and she was able to have a good time. But I just I can't get on board with saying that in order for craft breweries to survive, they need to start making real distilled liquor cocktails. That's that why? I mean, I don't, it doesn't make any sense to me that that's what they have to do. If that's the case, then people will go to a bar that serves both.
Yeah.
Why go to a brewery just to get the cocktails? They'll go somewhere else. But that's just my opinion. All right. Now we're still on this topic, Kris. Why don't you go ahead and hit us up with the next cocktail?
Crap, I lost where we were. There we go.
RTD.
RTD, there it goes. So ready to drink.
Yeah.
RTD meets NA. And a recent study from global beverage insight firm IWSR called No and Low Alcohol Strategic Study 2024. That's a hell of a bathroom read if you ever wanted one. They reported across 10 key markets. The no and low alcohol market is expected to expand by over 4% CAGR, compound average growth rate.
Put that in there so you know what it was.
CAGR.
CAGR.
Yeah, so it's expected to expand by over 4% through 2028. In the report, IWSR head of no and low alcohol insights, Susie Goldspink, a cool last name, said, as the no alcohol category matures, consumers want more than just an absence of alcohol. They want products that deliver on taste, complexity, and overall drinking experience. This evolution is pushing the category further, prompting brands to innovate and raise the bar in terms of quality and variety. So piggybacking on the previous trend, we're seeing that variation in the form of not only NA spirits and wine, but also cocktail focused NA beers. Yeah, you're right. I should. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do 8 things at once in here too. I'm reading articles. I'm 3D printing stuff while I'm in here too. But non-alcoholic brewing giant Athletic recently announced a new line of NA beers, all cocktail inspired. Fashioned after the eponymous cocktail, Paloma packs a grapefruit punch with an undercurrent of lime. I think Bill Schlemmer wrote these words for them. Athletic encourages you to actually drink this non-alcoholic beer over ice with a lime wedge. Similarly, the Moscow Mule amplifies the flavors of this classic bar drink, ginger and lime and spicy and tart. And if Athletic's doing it, well, we expect others to follow suit soon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see this. I mean, I can see where this would be, people are enjoying NA beers. Why not be able to enjoy a mocktail?
NA cocktails. Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's done with pizzazz and a splash of fun, then that makes it even more exciting. And now of course, people may, not want to do too many of them if they're $8 a piece. So you got to keep that in mind too.
But also think about it too. I mean, how many times have you heard somebody say, "Oh wow, this is delicious. I can't even taste the alcohol in it."
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
true.
So then let's mix you up some mint simple syrup and ginger beer, and you don't have to taste the vodka in your Moscow Mule.
Yeah.
And you get your mocktail and just, top it off with some soda water.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, how about low versus high? Ooh, we're going back and forth here. Low versus high. By now, we've all realized that non-alcoholic segment isn't just a phrase. Drinking non-alcoholic beer, wine, and spirits has become a legitimate part of our beverage industry with the numbers to back it up. A recent report from Nielsen IQ called Beverage Alcohol, What Will Drive 2025 showed that off-premise non-alcoholic sales from the last 52 weeks recorded 740 million, up just over 175 million from the year before.
Just a little.
The report also stated that searches of non-alcoholic beverages and alternatives on Google reached 51.9 million, accounting for 1.5% of all alcoholic beverages searches in 2024.
Wow.
Overall, Nielsen IQ predicts that the non-alcoholic space in off-premise channels will reach over $1 billion in sales by the end of this year. $1 billion
with a B. With a B as in Bravo. Like
billion. That's a lot of NA beer.
That's a hell of a segment to be jumping into.
All right. So thinking about non-alcoholic products, we have a lot of new players in this space, whether it's traditional craft brewers entering into a non-alcoholic like Firestone Walker, You have your non-alcoholic only companies like Athletic or Rationale. You have the big players like Heineken, Bud, soon Michelob Ultra, said three-tier beverages consultant Mary Mills during a presentation Hop Culture attended at Brewbound Live last December. It's becoming a real popular space to enter. For the past 365 days, we've been inundated with packages with new NA beers from new NA breweries, including Untitled Art, Sierra Nevada's new Trail Pass flavors, and Firestone Walker's first foray into NA beers, the 805.
Mm, I
You
like
see how they
that.
did that? From
Yeah,
805
I
to
like
80
that.
spelled out 5. The big dogs like Athletic, Rationale, and Best Day continue to grow. We've even seen a new thing called zebra striping become popular. The practice includes going one for one between low or no alcohol beverages and alcoholic ones. The idea is that you moderate your drinking and help prevent a nasty hangover. But
I've
what's
been doing
slipping
that
a
for
bit,
years. One beer,
well,
one water.
with
One beer,
water,
one
yeah, with water, yeah. So
water.
I usually do 2 beers, 1 water.
Yeah.
That's my ratio, 2 to 1. But I've been doing that for a long time as well. But I will say, we visited a venue on Friday night. We were there with some other friends. We had some other friends come in and join us, unexpected, and they started off drinking alcoholic, and then switched off because he wanted to make sure he doesn't he knows that if he drinks too much he has liver issues,
Mm,
and he went and had one alcoholic beverage, and then he went and had an NA beverage right after that.
okay.
He's able to enjoy drinking the beer with us, and the beer tastes good. The NA beer tastes good with knowing that he's not affecting his liver by putting another beer on top of it,
Sure.
right? So, I mean, it works. It's called striping. I didn't realize it had a name until I saw this. So it's kind of cool that they actually call it a striping. Okay, so where was I at? Okay, but what's slipping a bit under the radar is a similar rise in higher ABV beverages alongside the explosive growth of non or low alcoholic drinks. Non-alcoholic has almost doubled in the last 2 years, says Mills, but we've often skipped past the high ABV, which had 256 million dollar growth in the last year in the 7+% ABV space. Wow.
Hey.
And I thought, honestly though, I thought that the trend was going down
I
and
did
not
too.
focusing on that. But okay, maybe we're wrong. Both Thuralt and Mills examined the numbers, discovering a lot of crossover between consumers looking for non-alcoholic and high alcohol options. We saw that a third of the non-alcoholic buyers purchased 7% ABV and above beer, so a pretty significant number of consumers are overlapping, explained Thoreau. All right, well, that's interesting. Um, I'll say that my trend now maybe these are the younger crowds, right? They realize, hey, I want to get that big alcohol to feel good right away, but then I don't want to overdo it, so I'm going to go big and then none, and then maybe I'll go big again and none, and it's able to keep the buzz going without
Yeah.
overdoing it and getting
Well, you go
now
big to start the buzz,
yeah,
and then you just
and
have
then
to
you
maintain.
maintain it. Yeah, for me, I'm over the buzz thing. Now I'm just let me enjoy the beer and let me drink as much as I can without getting to that limit, right? I don't want to go quick. I want to go slow. The slow, because if I can drink 4 beers
Yeah.
before I get up to my limit, then I'm happy. But if I can only drink 2, then I'm not happy because I got to stop, right? So for me, as an older gentleman, I like the slow road, and I've been really enjoying those 4.5% beers
Yep.
where I can drink a few and it's just not hitting me, and I feel I feel good, and
Well,
I don't have any side effects.
you feel good, but you're also participating in the social part of it,
Yeah,
right? It's,
yeah,
you're not getting, just completely schmammered and,
exactly.
slurring your words. And, I'm definitely starting to feel this 13% beer that we're drinking right now and going, okay, I'll be okay. Uh, but, it brings me back to like when I came out and visited you in August.
Hmm.
Like you and I drank a few beers, right?
Yeah, we had a
Which
few.
which
We didn't overdo it though,
no,
did
and
we?
we didn't. We had no, we did we? No, we had fun with it though, and thank God Sarah being our DD,
Oh
which
yeah,
which definitely helped.
trooper.
It let us, just relax and go with where the day took us. But
Yeah.
you know, we weren't like puking in a bush or anything.
No, there was no puking involved. No
But no,
puking.
being able to just maintain that social aspect, and
Mhm.
I've even caught myself doing it where I'll go and have a couple drinks and just be like, I don't really want another one, so can I just have some soda water with a lime
Mhm.
in it? And
Mhm.
I've still got that drink in my hand. I'm still having fun in the conversation,
Yeah.
but I'm not getting completely wasted.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's the year of the rice lager, and
Nice.
I'd back this one, which I never thought I'd
Yeah.
say that before.
Yeah.
We have,
I love a good rice lager.
yeah, and hey, Marker 48, what's up?
Hmm.
Hey, we have to admit this has become one of our most fun to play, deciding exactly what year of the lager it will be in the new year. We can't tell you how many years we've heard the ubiquitous phrase "year of the lager" thrown around, predicting consumers will drink more lagers in the next 12 months. I know I probably will. Over the last 4 years, the number of check-ins for the lager Japanese rice style on Untapped has increased almost 63% from 100 and almost 145,000 in 2021 to 235,665 last year. I would
Yeah.
imagine that's in 2024.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but man, that
That's
is wow.
Yeah. I mean, we've said this for the last like 6 years that it's going
We
to be
have,
lagers,
yeah.
and I've followed through. I tried to push it like every year because I've been drinking a ton of lagers over the last 6 years, trying
Yeah.
to push this trend. And we actually have seen it. I think in the last 2 years, I believe we have seen that increase in lagers. I see so many more breweries now in my area and ones that come in from outside of my area that bring in lagers. And we never saw that before. We only saw
No.
IPAs, and sours and double IPAs and maybe a porter or a stout. But we never saw lagers. Nobody was doing it. Now, I swear the majority of there's still IPAs are big, but I'm seeing almost an equal, either a 2 to 3 or a 3 to 3, like a ratio, 1 to 1
Yeah.
ratio, or a 2 to 1 ratio, or 2 to 3 ratio of lagers to IPAs, and I love it because
Me
I'm just
too.
all over that lager. And this rice lager is, they're not joking. I have, in the last year, 18 months, I've seen so many more breweries putting out a rice lager. Now, this rice lager isn't your Budweiser, right?
Nope.
This is a rice lager that is made with rice, but it takes on so much better flavor and character that they're just fantastic. And I love these rice lagers. So if this is the year of the rice lager, then I'm all for it because this is a style that I really enjoy. Not your Budweiser
Yeah.
that you've learned to love to hate, but real lagers that made with rice that just taste really really good.
Well, it's
So
funny. Dan just said Bud gave the lager a bad name.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
they really did.
They did. They
Because
did.
everybody hears the lager. Oh, it's Budweiser.
Yeah.
No, like
Yeah.
especially when it comes down to the rice lagers. And I said Marker 48 earlier. I
Hmm.
mean, they're what they called their Marker Light
Oh
was.
yeah.
Oh, I love that beer.
Yeah, that beer's great.
Tina, Mo, if you guys are going to be at Hop King Festival, if you could bring me, I'll bring
A
you money
case.
for a case this coming weekend. I love you guys. By the way, it's Tampa Bay Beer Week. Just started
Oh.
Saturday. Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
so it's the whole it's you're right in the beginning of the week then.
yeah, I
Nice.
and Hop King at Tampa Bay Brewing Company is the only event that I'm going to because
Okay.
I have adult commitments.
Okay.
But I've been enjoying seeing all the fun, goofy posts from, Dave Doble over at Tampa Bay Brewing Company, or Miguel with No More Pours, or all the cool stuff that you guys are posting out there. So hope you're having a great week. Oh, and I can't forget the pictures and posts from James, the Beer Czar. Got to give a
Okay.
shout out to those guys.
Are you going to participate in the Hop King
I'm
festival?
we are going.
You're going, but you're not going to do what you did before with the
I'm not.
podcasting with
No, I think
Miguel.
we are gonna be podcasting
Okay.
with Miguel. Um, and our symbol for Tampa Bay Beer Week has always been a pineapple, and he's got a new necklace that he's made. Tampa Bay Beer Week, I'm kind of backpedaling here, but Tampa Bay Beer Week made this freaking necklace of a golden chain. And Denny, I'm talking about chain that you would like put a trailer,
So
attach a
yeah.
trailer, attach your RV to your truck, if not thicker. And
Okay.
a pineapple, and they spray painted it all gold. I've got a couple pictures of it. I'll text you one or two of them if I can dig them out here in a little bit. But it's heavy. Like when
Wow.
we interviewed Sean Nordquist,
He was like leaning down. He couldn't
no,
see
well,
the thing.
they just posted a video of it with him walking into Tampa Bay Brewing Company at the beginning of the week, and I said, "Careful, Sean, you're going to throw your back out." Like, it's heavy. And I wore it for probably a good hour and a half at Badass Beer Fest. I stole it from the folks over at Tampa Bay Beer Week and ran around the field with it.
Wow.
Tina's got a couple pictures of it too, but Miguel made a new one, and it is so much lighter, and it's got a light in it, and man, it is really
Oh,
cool looking.
sweet.
Um, so I'm hoping to grab a hold of that one at the end of this week. But yeah, the rice loggers are a it's beer flavored beer.
Yeah.
That's what we always tend to go for. Let me ask you a question too. Um, what do you think? Because we've kind of gone through the majority of these trends that we've got coming up. What do you think are going to be some of the trends coming up in 2025 outside of what we've already touched on? What do you think were some of the trends that you think we're going to see this year?
Okay. I'll start with the negative.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we are probably going to see a lot more closures than openings this year,
Okay.
which is sad.
I agree, and that was one of mine too.
Yeah, but I also think that um, success for breweries are going to come in their local market,
Yeah.
and it's going to be they're going to need to focus on getting butts in the seats of the brewery, serving them on premise, whether and however they do that, it could be bringing artists, comedy people, events for painting events, whatever, right? It can be any number of things, trivia, but
Hmm.
they need to think of other things besides the normal. Like we talked to Tractor Brewing, and they had all kinds of
Yeah.
things that were not normal things that bring people in. I think breweries need to focus on the experience, bringing people in on site to sell their beer if they're going to be successful. If they can't do that, they're going to end up failing, which is
Yeah.
sad because you're not going to be able to rely on packaged products,
No.
especially if when these tariffs go into effect tomorrow, and all of a sudden it costs brewers a lot more to can their beer. They're going to be forced to have to sell more on premise because they just can't afford to can it because no one's buying it.
Or they go back to glass like Wayne does.
Or they go back to glass, but
Yeah.
that's
But that's
another.
still very local.
Yeah, it's still a problem because that means they have to invest in some expensive equipment, and they don't have the equipment. And unfortunately, those mobile, you know, canneries and bottle things are no longer around because people invested in their own little mini canner that they can run
Hmm.
right on their premise and not have to pay the extra fees. But those are my two that I feel are going to be significant The breweries that can bring people into their breweries and sell their product on premise are going to succeed. The ones that can't are going to fail, and there'll be more failures than openings, probably double this year.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. And what about as far as beers go? I mean, I know we want to be able to get butts and seats, but like, what do you think as far as beers go? What do you think is going to come up in 2025?
Um, I don't know. I mean, maybe these people that are talking about the infused beers and the cocktails, maybe they are right. I just think that I don't know. I enjoy going to places that make good beer,
Yeah.
and I just want to drink good beer. And I don't know what other people want. I just know that if I'm going to go out, I'm going to pick the place that I feel comfortable in, not too loud.
Yeah.
Loud's not good,
Loud is
and
definitely not good.
that I know I'll go there, and every beer that I buy, I will be satisfied with, and that's what I go with. There's no styles anymore for me that I want to see. They're already brewing lagers, which has made me happy. Sure, if you can brew more black IPAs or Belgian dark strong ales, I'll come visit your brewery and
Yeah.
buy those beers. But most breweries aren't going to do that. We've talked to a few brewers that say, hey, we can't brew what we want to brew. We have to brew what sells. And
Yeah.
even though every brewer in Mother Earth wants a brown ale, and they want whatever whatever Chris Baker said, they want these beers. They can't make it because the consumer is only buying IPAs and things like that. So that I just want to go to a place that does good. I don't know what style is going to succeed. I don't have anything special that I want. If anything, I want to see more brown ales. I want to see more dark black ales or black lager or yeah, black
Yeah,
lagers.
those
I
two.
would love to see
Those two.
more Schwarzbier, right?
Okay.
Give me Schwarzbier, give me black IPAs, and give me more brown ales, and I'll be
Okay.
happy. Those
All
are those
right.
are those are beers that I really want to see, and I have seen more brown ales being brewed lately than I have in the past. So maybe people are enjoying those.
So
What do
my
you think?
Yeah, I was gonna say mine are kind of along the same idea, except for that last one of hey, you want to see more brown ales, more black IPAs, more. Listen, I will go. I If I go to a brewery and they have a Schwartz beer on, I'm gonna order it because I want to try it. If they have a brown ale, that's probably what I'm gonna get because usually it's a good solid style for me. Like
Yeah.
love a brown ale, love a good Scotch ale, I love that kind of stuff.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Um, but I think with just the way that the world is running right now, I'm with you in the idea of hey, it's there's probably a lot more closures coming up, which it sucks to see, and
Yeah.
even say it, it's just sad to even consider it happening. But I also think on a part of what we touched on in these articles is people are going to be going for more non-alcoholic or lower ABV. I was very surprised to see that, hey, the higher ABV um, had such a rise also. I was really surprised to
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah. I was surprised too.
And I'll also tell you when I said that I asked Chat GPT
Hmm.
what it thought. I haven't looked at what it spit out yet.
Okay.
So I'm kind of curious about that. Um, Dan said people want to feel part of a community and everybody knows their name. Yeah, they want to go to a place that's like Cheers,
Yeah.
right? They want to be that they want to be
It's the
that
experience.
accepted. And it
Yeah.
is. That beer tastes so much better when the experience is better. Um but yeah, I think it's going to be more beer flavored beers, less adjuncts in the beers, kind of like what we're having in
Yeah. I'm.
this stout.
You can tell this is hard to finish.
It's definitely a sipper.
I'm making my way down, but my gosh, this is a tough one to
Yeah,
finish.
it's a sweet, it's a thick one, and not in a
Yeah.
good way. Um, so, um, but yeah, I think that more loggers, more light drinkers, more um we're not go. I think we're going to go away from beers like this stout,
Hmm.
and we're going to get towards more of those beer flavored beers, more of those beers where you can have 3 or 4 while you're sitting
Hmm.
there chatting with your community or chatting with the people or that kind of thing, or having more non-alcoholic options or spirit options,
Mm.
right in your favorite local brewery.
Yeah.
So
Okay. We're kind of getting long.
yeah,
Uh, I, I think we'll just, I'm just going to say that two of the other ones that were mentioned that we kind of hinted at with our last two that you and I came up with. Regional styles revived, Czech Pilsners, Trappist ales, Belgian
mm.
Saisons, German wheat beers, things that are special like that, maybe make a comeback, right? That same
Beer
thing,
flavored
Belgian,
beers.
yeah, Belgian
Yeah.
dark strong ales, things that are special from special regions will make a will be highlighted. And then the other thing, as what Batman Dan said, enhance the experiences. Right? People want to go to a place that they feel like they're important and that they're cared about, and they have a good experience at. And I think that's a key as well. So I think we'll stop on those two uh, and finish this thing out because if you can't tell, I'm squirming around because my leg is cramping up.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on, and I was like, okay, I think I need to not sit down because I can't stretch my leg out, and my leg is cramping. So we need to.
So I'd also like to give you kind of an idea of what AI spit
Okay,
out too.
yeah,
Now it gave 10 examples. I'm going to give you the
okay,
title of them, and
okay.
if I need to, I'll summarize them. But I said, what trends do you see coming up in 2025 for craft beer? Number one, lighter and lower ABV beers.
Okay.
Two,
Yeah.
hybrid and cross style beers. So cold IPAs, IPA lager
Okay.
hybrids, hop
Yeah.
forward Belgian ales. Better for you beers. So
Oh.
health conscious drinking is growing. Um, the rise of the non-alcoholic craft beer. Yeah, we've talked
Yeah.
about
We've already
that.
got that. Yeah.
Number five, unique yeasts and fermentation techniques. So
Oh.
wild yeast
Yeah.
strains, spontaneous fermentation, local
Yeah.
ingredients.
Yeah. Local.
So
Yeah. That's one thing for
local
sure.
focused brewing,
Yeah.
sustainable and eco-friendly brewing, alternative packaging and dispensing. So let's see, bottle conditioned beers, premium cork and caged bottles, mini kegs. Yeah, I don't think so.
Those are going backwards. Yeah. I don't think
I think
that's.
so.
Yeah.
Now, here's what you just touched on: brewery and taproom experience evolution,
Hmm.
leaning into the unique taproom experiences with Tampa Bay Brewing just did this beer pairing dinners,
Oh yeah.
collaborations with
Yeah.
local chefs. So they just did a oh, what was it called? Invasive species dinner. So they just did an entire dinner off of the lionfish. The
Oh,
lionfish are an invasive
really?
species that we have here in Florida, lionfish, or people know them as scorpion fish, or those kind of things. They just did a whole beer dinner off of that. So you can
Wow.
go a couple hours south of us, and you can go spear all you want, and there's no limit on them.
Hmm.
And then expanding beyond beer. So with the competition
Hmm.
tightening, breweries are diversifying into hard seltzers, ready to
Hmm.
drink cocktails, craft sodas, and even hard teas and coffees. So, and
Oh, it's okay. It's interesting you said coffees because that's the other thing that I've heard from a lot of breweries. One of the easiest things they can adopt into their thing is brew and brew, right? Beer and coffee. Because when people that like my wife Sarah, when she doesn't drink, she will enjoy a coffee,
yeah,
and it's something that they can also use in the beer by roasting their own beans and then using those roasted beans to adjunct their beer.
yeah,
And so I think that's a good point because I have heard a lot of breweries saying that they're moving into that direction to adding that extra, the coffee thing into their brewing thing. So
yeah. And I love after a while you start talking to your AI, and it said, given your deep knowledge of the craft beer industry, Kris, are you seeing any of these types of trends play out already in Tampa or Baltimore? And are there
wow,
any
it
that
knows
you're
where. How does it know where you're from?
it knows everything, Denny. And it says,
AI is
are
smart.
any of them that you're personally excited about? I haven't answered it yet. I don't want to give it any type of idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but
Okay.
yeah.
Those are our trends. A couple article news people's trends and AI's trends. You've heard it all. What do you let us know what you think the trends will be by sending us some feedback on voicemail, email, Discord. Although I may not see it on Discord.
Everything at Tap the Craft.
At Tap the Craft. All right, Kris, let's close this show out.
Yeah.
But hey, let's talk about new and northerly beers real quick because I can't go another show without talking about some new and northerly. So what about your new and northerly beers?
I mean, mine was a simple single beer from Finback Brewery. It was called Crispy Morning. And Denny, you know when I actually write notes on a beer and Untappd that it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But it was a 4.25. It was I wrote, this one was a crispy boy, light, crispy, and a little bit citrusy, just easy to drink lager. Like, again,
Nice.
more trends that we're making come to life. But just the easy drinker. I think this one came from Gasparilla, of course. That's basically my beer store anymore.
Yeah.
Is my favorite pizza shop. But yeah, nice crispy lager with some pizza. It works out really nice. But Denny, you've got a hell of a list. So
I've got four, I guess.
Let's see it. I want to hear about it.
All right, so I'm going to go quick because we're dragging on. I don't want to drag on too long. But I mentioned earlier in the show that my buddy Alex Fuchs, he had someone deliver me a package of 10 beers from Israel. And so I had a few of them already, like half of them already. In fact, I had one tonight. And but of the ones that he provided, I have a couple on my list of new and noteworthies. The first one is a really good West Coast IPA. It's actually the collaboration between. Oh, is this a collaboration? Yeah, a collaboration between the Beerbazaar, which is the same. It's not really. I think it's a collaboration. I think my buddy Alex's friend Gilad also brews the beer for Beerbazaar, but Beerbazaar and a local American LA, the Long Beach Beer Lab.
Oh, that's
yeah, it's where Ariel but Levi was here in Israel and he moved and opened the brewery there. A collaboration with them, making this West Coast IPA. And I'll tell you what, it's really good. It's called Harmony. West Coast IPA. I gave it a 4.5 cap rating. I said, wow, this IPA is very tasty. I see it was a collab with Long Beach Beer Lab, and I can see Levi's influence. This IPA is very drinkable with all the qualities of well-made American IPA. Thanks, Alex, for letting me experience this great collab. Really fantastic beer. I really like that one a lot. Next beer is from Loose Screw Beer Company. Loose Screw Beer Company has been in the area for a while. It's gone through a couple owners. They originally had their location over near where we were at for Burt's Brewing in that area of Chinden. Smaller little brewery. Then they opened up a bigger facility that was over in Meridian. And then they decided they wanted to go to downtown Meridian, which is a town right next to Boise, and open up a bigger brew pub and brewery. And so they had to close the other one in Boise because in Idaho you can only have a brewery can only have 2 tap rooms at one time. So then they sold the other location or went to the other location to another guy called Ruckus Brewing, which I think I mentioned a few episodes ago. Really good beer there. But they opened up this brewery in the last couple months. And I've had their beers. I like their beers. I like Marco, the head brewer. He's been there. He was at the other place when it was called Bella's, and he just learned to brew. And then he was a Loose Screw, and he really was making some good beers. I loved interacting with him and talking about the beers. He'd bring over samples of the beers he's brewing, asking our opinions on them. I really liked him a lot. But then he went over to Meridian, and I never really saw him at all. And then now he's brewing beers at the new facility in downtown Old Town Meridian, and we decided to visit there on Friday, meet some friends, and wow, I'll tell you what, the facility, the place is fantastic. It's got lots of room inside, well done, beautiful tap room. Architecture is unique. Not, it's not just a space with walls. It's a really nice location. Some brewing things that they're doing that's differently with this brewery than with other brewery is that they have some horizontal fermenters, meaning fermenters made for lateral
Really?
fermentation for making lagers. Because if you have bottom fermenting yeast, the more volume of liquid above that yeast causes more issues, and you can kind of cause the yeast to react poorly. But
Hmm.
if you have it horizontally spread out, there's less pressure, and the yeast is able to produce and make, make better beer. So we have that. They're also doing a double decoction German style lagers as well, which is really cool. And so we met up on Friday night after work with some friends, and I'll tell you what, uh, the beer was really good. The location is fantastic, and I really enjoyed it. So the beer I want to talk about, another 4.5 cap rating here. It's called Lateral Pils. It's one of those first pilsners produced on this horizontal fermenter. And I said, visiting a new location in downtown Meridian, and it is a very nice venue. The Czech style pils is on the mild side, which is good because some can be a bit much. Nice cracker malt with noble hop spiciness, a crispy boy you can enjoy back
Hmm.
to back. And this is a beer I think you can drink all night long. Really good, well done pils. 4.5 cap rating. The next beer is a beer that I got from Valentine's Day. Now, I was sick on Valentine's Day, so I had to wait a week to drink it. So I drank this beer, a gift from my lovely wife, Sarah. It's from Monkless Belgian Ales. Monkless is out of Bend, and I enjoy Monkless. I've talked about him before. I think Bill Schlimmer has had Monkless, and he's enjoyed these beers as well. It's called the Friar's Festivus. It's a Belgian quad. I gave this also a 4.5 cap rating. My Valentine's Day beer from my wife. I was sick, and so I waited until I felt better to enjoy this one. There is a lot going on with this beer. Dark fruits with a bit of clove and bubble gum, some toffee, malt, and brown sugar. Really good quad and not boozy. 4.5 cap rating. And the last beer is another one from Israel, from uh, again my buddy Alex's friend Gilad from New Pioneer Brewing. It's called Double Ben Gurion. I left off the end there. There, I added it. Double IPA. Uh, Really tasty, hazy double IPA. Tropical citrus and papaya with a little bitterness to cut any sweetness. Went down super fast. A sign of a good beer. Thanks, Alex. 4.5 cap rating. Yeah. Any beer that you drink like really quick and want another one
Right.
is a good beer, right? That's a sign of a good beer. Okay, I've talked enough. Kris, let's go ahead. It's time to raise our glass. Who would you like to raise a glass to tonight?
Like I said earlier, Denny, it is the start of Tampa Bay Beer Week. Whether it's, events going on, we get a lot of folks that come in from out of town. So for everybody that is participating, for everybody that is involved, for everybody that is setting up for events and pouring beers, and I can only imagine half of the stuff that's involved during Tampa Bay Beer Week. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people look forward to it, and some people absolutely just can't wait to get it over with. Cheers to everybody involved. I know for some of you, it's going to be an awesome week. You're going to be exhausted, dehydrated, hungover, all those things. But do it responsibly. And cheers to an awesome Tampa Bay Beer Week for 2025.
Cheers to Tampa Bay Beer Week.
And Denny, who would you like to raise a glass to this evening?
All right. First off, Patreon toast goes out to Mr. Jeff Seiler. Thank you, Jeff, for your Patreon support from day one or day two. Maybe it was day two. I think day one was the night I put it active was Tom Byrne, but I think Jeff was like right behind Tom Byrne. But thank you for your patronage. We really appreciate it. I also want to raise my glass to my buddy Alex, who I already talked about. Had someone bring in 10 beers, really enjoyed those beers. But I also had someone else bring me some beers at the same time, and that was my buddy Thiago from France. And he brought me some French beers, 3 French beers, my first time ever drinking
Nice.
truly French craft beer. And they were very good. Now, none of them made my new and noteworthy because I just picked 4 of the 4.5, but they were all solid beers from the Grenoble area of France. And there was 2 IPA, one pale ale, 1 IPA, and one blonde ale. The blonde ale was probably my favorite. It was a blonde ale with some kind of a local nut that was in there. But man, it was really good. It had that nice malty character with that little nuttiness to it. I really enjoyed that one. But I wanted to raise my glass to Thiago to thank him for bringing some beers to me from France. My first beers ever from France. All right, and of course, oh, and one more toast to Buck Buchanan and Core 4
Oh
Brewing
yeah.
for 5 years. I can't forget
Cheers to
to raise
five
my glass
years,
to that.
guys.
And also, being a former serviceman, I want to raise my glass and thank all those who have served and who are currently serving in the U.S. military services, protecting our freedoms. Thank you for your service, and I hope all who are deployed will return home safely very soon. And you can find the beers and links to the articles mentioned in the show in the show notes located on the show post at taptocraft.com. And it is last call. It's time to bring the show to a close. We want to thank you for downloading and listening. We ask you to please tell a friend and, of course, subscribe on your favorite podcast app. And as a reminder, we release a new show every 2 weeks. Now go out there and spread the word of craft beer.
Cheers.
Cheers.